When the world thought every trace of Menglong's voice had been catalogued, an unreleased interview surfaced from a forgotten media archive in Chengdu. What began as a casual conversation between an actor and a student journalist has now evolved into one of the most chilling clues in modern entertainment history. The clip, now under forensic review, appears to show Menglong predicting the manner, timing, and even digital aftermath of his own death. This is the full breakdown of what investigators are calling the lost interview. It begins in a grainy room lit by the warm hue of an old tungsten lamp. Menglong sits across from a young woman named Mei Lin, then a journalism student who never expected her forgotten project to ignite a global media storm. The timestamp reads November 3rd, 2019, a date that precedes his death by almost 2 years. The footage opens with laughter, the kind of easy charm that made fans fall for him. But 20 minutes in, his tone shifts. "Have you ever felt," he asks, "that your reflection knows something you don't?" Mei, startled, laughs nervously. What she doesn't realize is that this offhand question will later match a line found in his final diary entry. For years, the clip remained hidden. Mei had submitted it to her university's film server, which was later wiped during a data migration. But weeks ago, a technician restoring archive drives stumbled upon a folder labeled YM Project, Private Cut. Inside were several raw interviews, but one file stood out, session_5_final, MOV. The metadata revealed it had been accessed one last time, just 3 days before Menglong's fatal night. When authorities first examined the clip, they assumed it was fan-edited. But audio forensics confirmed the waveform and speech pattern matched Menglong's authentic voice. What unsettled experts wasn't the authenticity, it was his choice of words. He spoke of being recorded even after silence and a future where songs play themselves. These phrases eerily echo the digital phenomena that emerged after his passing, including the mysterious reappearance of new songs on his verified music platform. The discovery went public after the Beijing Sentinel published a still frame showing Menglong staring directly into the camera, his lips parted mid-sentence, as if frozen in confession. The article went viral within hours, but the full video never surfaced, not officially. Online, fragments began circulating across darknet forums, where users claimed the final 30 seconds were deliberately cut out. Insiders at Dragon Eye Media, the company that once managed Menglong's acting contracts, confirmed that 2 internal staff members were dismissed after unauthorized logins to the server hosting the recovered clip. One of them reportedly attempted to sell exclusive frames to an anonymous buyer based in Hong Kong. Investigators traced the transfer to a defunct crypto wallet titled Marilake88, a codename already linked to several previous leaks in the Menglong case. Detective Liang, before his mysterious disappearance, had made note of a strange correlation. In a handwritten note later recovered from his apartment, he wrote, "The lost interview equals confession through code." His partner claimed Liang had become obsessed with audio frequencies in the video, suggesting there were subliminal messages embedded in Menglong's speech patterns. A digital spectrogram analysis did reveal faint harmonics resembling Morse code, spelling out one phrase, "Still here." What makes this discovery even more haunting is the unedited transcript of Menglong's final answer. When Mei Lin asked him, "What scares you most about fame?" he replied softly, "That one day, someone will watch this and think I knew." After the video's rediscovery, Mei Lin was brought in for questioning. Now in her late 20s, she confessed she'd forgotten the interview even existed. "He asked for no lighting crew," she told reporters, her voice trembling. "He said the truth only shows up in the dark." Her recollection matched what viewers noticed in the footage, a single source of light behind him, throwing his features into a soft silhouette. It looked less like a media shoot and more like a farewell. Within hours of the reveal, the clip's stills flooded Weibo and Twitter under hashtags #LostInterviewMenglong and #HeKnew. Fans dissected every blink, every breath. Some claimed to see a faint reflection moving behind him, a figure shaped like his co-star, Yang Mi. While authorities dismissed the speculation as lens artifacts, independent visual analysts argued the reflection displayed inconsistent motion with the camera's perspective. The phenomenon spiraled further when a new YouTube channel, Afterlight Reels, uploaded an AI-upscaled version of the footage, revealing what appeared to be binary code flickering across the lower frame. The binary translated into _2021_promise, which coincides with the file name of Menglong's unreleased song that appeared posthumously on underground music boards. The implications were too heavy to ignore. Had Menglong embedded digital breadcrumbs pointing to his fate years before it happened? Meanwhile, Dragon Eye Media has continued to deny any tampering. Their official statement reads, "The so-called lost interview is an out-of-context student project. Any perceived predictions or coded phrases are coincidental." But sources within the company have confirmed an internal panic. One insider leaked that executives held an emergency meeting to reassess archive integrity, a phrase corporate analysts interpreted as damage control. Public sentiment, however, doesn't believe in coincidences anymore. The clip's resurfacing coincides with renewed public pressure to reopen Menglong's case, especially following last month's arrest of a suspect linked to the actor's missing USB drive. Fans are demanding to know why these new findings are being filtered through private agencies instead of law enforcement. More intriguingly, just days after the story broke, the Chengdu Institute of Media suffered a mysterious server fire, wiping out their entire digital storage wing, including the original hard copy of the interview. Local reports cite electrical malfunction, but technicians on site told the Sentinel they smelled burning plastic near the power junction that didn't match typical circuit failure. And now, the investigation has taken a darker turn. A newly leaked memo from the Beijing Central Archive states, "Interview fragment suggests premeditated self-awareness consistent with Project Afterlight behavior logs." Project Afterlight, the same codename found on Menglong's recovered laptop weeks after his death. As online sleuths continue decoding the interview's frequencies, a new pattern is emerging. Each time the clip is played, hidden timestamps appear in the waveform, aligning with exact dates when key witnesses in the Menglong case disappeared. Was the actor sending a message through time? Or has the digital echo of his voice become something more, a self-sustaining signal looping back to haunt those who silenced him? In one of his last audible lines, Menglong whispers, "Every truth needs a mirror." Then the tape cuts out. Now, fans are asking the question the authorities won't. Did Menglong predict his own death, or record his resurrection? The clip opens again. This time the camera shakes. Someone is adjusting the tripod. You can hear Menglong's soft laugh as he apologizes for being terrible at sitting still. For months, the world only saw the first 20 minutes. But new digital restoration has recovered an extra 52 seconds that were corrupted in the original file. Those seconds are changing everything. In the restored portion, Menglong leans forward, eyes shadowed by the single desk lamp. "Do you believe sound can remember?" he asks Mei Lin. His tone isn't playful anymore. It's as if he's speaking to the microphone itself. Sometimes, when a voice is recorded, it leaves something behind, like breath that never fades. The room falls quiet except for the low hum of the camera fan. Sound engineers from the Beijing Forensic Lab have confirmed a faint second frequency overlapping his words, too structured to be background noise. When slowed down, the pattern forms a steady rhythm. Morse again. The translation? Listen later. Investigators now believe Menglong deliberately embedded auditory cues throughout the interview. Every time he paused, the waveform spiked at irregular intervals, as though he knew someone would study it frame by frame. The new leak surfaced from an anonymous account called Mirror Lake Archive, which uploaded the uncut footage to an encrypted cloud at 3:04 a.m. Within hours, it was mirrored across forums in Russia, Japan, and South Korea before authorities ordered takedowns. But by then, the internet had already dissected every frame. A Reddit user noticed that when Menglong touches his wristwatch, the reflection shows 37 minutes and 14 seconds, the same timestamp later found in his unreleased song file. Others pointed out that Mei Lin's microphone briefly cuts out, yet Menglong's track remains crystal clear, as if recorded on a separate, unseen device. When contacted for comment, Mei Lin refused to speak on camera. Through her lawyer, she stated only, "The interview was ordinary. Whatever people think they're hearing was not there at the time." But colleagues recall she withdrew from the university a week after the rediscovery, claiming persistent interference with her phone and laptop. Digital forensics expert Dr. Han Jiu reviewed the file metadata and made an unsettling discovery. The edit history shows 2 save points dated 3 days after Menglong's death. Both were logged under a phantom user ID that doesn't exist in the system's registry. It's as if someone or something accessed the file from a non-human endpoint, Han said in an exclusive interview. The handwriting in code form doesn't match any known device signature. Meanwhile, public fascination has spiraled into obsession. Cafes in Shanghai and Chengdu now host nightly afterlight screenings, projecting the interview against brick walls while fans exchange theories under candlelight. Some bring Bluetooth speakers to play his unreleased music alongside the footage, claiming the rhythm syncs perfectly. Even mainstream broadcasters have joined the chase. The investigative show Truth Line Asia aired a special segment titled Voice from the Future, reconstructing Menglong's final minutes using AI lip-sync restoration. The result? When the missing audio was filled in, the reconstructed phrase matched his diary entry word for word. Every truth needs a mirror. Behind closed doors, Dragon Eye Media's panic has deepened. Insiders leaked that the company hired cybersecurity contractors to erase any trace of Mirror Lake archive. But each time the channel is deleted, a new one appears. Same logo, same upload pattern, always at precisely 3:04 a.m. On fan forums, the most popular theory is that Detective Liang encoded his investigation notes into the cloud before vanishing. His last known message to colleagues read, "The interview is a map." For months, no one knew what that meant until a data analyst noticed the positioning of Menglong's hands throughout the video. Frame by frame, his gestures correspond to points on a coordinate grid. When plotted, they outline the shape of Beijing's Subdistrict 7, home to a decommissioned film studio rumored to have housed Project Afterlight's testing chamber. When reporters visited the address, they found the gates chained and the walls covered in new security cameras. A single guard refused entry but confirmed, "People still come here at night asking for the singer." The online community's response has turned devotional. View counts climb by the minute, not from idle curiosity, but from ritual, the belief that watching keeps Menglong's digital echo alive. Psychologists warn of mass parasocial fixation. Cultural critics call it a new form of digital seance. But none can explain why fresh frames keep appearing that weren't in the official copy. Some show his reflection smiling a second later than the rest of his face. Others show brief flickers of code across the subtitles. 0010 repeat 0010. The Chinese Cyber Bureau has opened an inquiry into synthetic media interference, yet even government analysts admit the original clip shows no signs of post-production tampering. The light flickers, the audio breathes, it's analog, real, disturbingly alive. Meanwhile, Meilin has reportedly left Beijing for an undisclosed location. Friends say she's terrified but refuses to delete the master file stored on an external drive sealed in a safe deposit box. One confidant claims she received an anonymous email simply reading, "Don't let them remaster the silence." What fascinates researchers most is Menglong's composure. In the final moments of the restored segment, he smiles faintly and says, "I think people confuse prediction with preparation. Sometimes, knowing is the same as surviving." His eyes linger on the camera, steady, unblinking, as if he's addressing viewers decades away. Then, almost imperceptibly, the light dies. The screen fades to black, but the audio continues for 4 extra seconds. Beneath the static, sound engineers have isolated a whisper. "You found it." Whether that voice belongs to Menglong or someone standing just beyond the frame remains unknown. The waveform signature doesn't match any human tone within normal hearing range. Dr. Han calls it a hybrid of breath and data. Tonight, the restored interview continues to circulate through back channels, encoded under different file names, each one slightly different from the last. Every version ends the same way, with that whisper, followed by a single digital heartbeat. And once again, the question that began this entire saga resurfaces. Did Menglong predict his own death, or is he still directing the story from the other side of the lens?